All right. So, hi, everybody. Happy Wednesday. It's December 1st. We made it through November, and it is about what 7:34 Pacific Standard Time, and Mountain Time in Colorado for Chance is about 8:30, a little past 8:30. So, I just want to welcome everybody back to Project We Inspire platform on Facebook and our YouTube channel. Again, my name is Rachel Mai. I'm a Yang from Sacramento. I'm the founder, creator, and host of Project We Inspire. And again, thank you everybody for viewing, supporting our Project We Inspire. So if you are new to the platform or YouTube channel, our Project We Inspire's mission is to share the stories of unique individuals and to allow them to tell their journey of how they have overcame barriers, challenges, in order for them to achieve their dreams, goals, and passions. So before we move forward to introduce our special guest tonight, Chance, if you can hear us, if you can see us well, please give us a shout out, comment and just say hello to all of us because right now, sometimes we can hear each other well, but then maybe you guys can't really see us well. So let us know if our lighting is good, if you guys can hear us okay. But I'm super excited. I've been talking to Chance for like 2-3 months now to get this interview. So I want to just say tonight we have a special guest from Colorado. Never been there. Hopefully, I'll be going there one day. Hi, Pong. How are you? We hear you, Rachel. Good, good. Oh, you guys are Pajong is from Arkansas. Hello. Hi. So we're so happy that you're all tuning in from different states and cities. We definitely want you guys to, um, you know, say hello to us. Ooh, thank you, Abby. Think everything's good. Yes. So let us know, okay, if you can see us well, hear us well. Again, tonight we have Chance Vang from Colorado. And a little bit about Chance before he says hello to everybody. So in 2020, Chance served as the assistant general manager for the Colorado Rush USL2, where he was eventually promoted to general manager. And forgive me, I am not that great with all the terms. I had to learn, okay? So at 23, Vang became one of the youngest general managers in American sports and was also the first Hmong-American to become an executive in American soccer history. Recently, Chance was named the new head coach for Northeastern Junior College men's soccer program in August of 2021, so just a few months ago. And he is believed to be the youngest head coach in America at the age of 23, but now 24.
Yes.
So he turned 24. Man, I feel old. I'm like 41. I'm like, wow, I remember when I was 24. So welcome, Chance, to Project We Inspire Facebook platform and YouTube channel. Thank you for taking your time to meet and chat with us about your journey of becoming the youngest Hmong American college head coach for men's soccer at Northeastern Junior College. So please say hello from where you're at right now.
I am in Colorado. It's a city called Sterling, about an hour, 45 minutes from Denver.
All right. So for those of you, who haven't been to Colorado, I hear it's a really beautiful state and it has a lot of mountains and rivers and a lot of fun things out there. So thank you, Chance, for tuning in, for, being here with us. And again, congratulations on all of your accomplishments. And we're all like really super proud of you.
No, I want to say thank you for having me. I know we've been talking for quite a while as well, and we finally are able to get this set up. So it's good to be here, and it's good to have viewers kind of um, watching what you got going on as well.
Thank you. Thanks. So, thank you, Chance. So, I just want to say hello to everybody again. Oh, Oh, you're from Philadelphia. Hello. Oh my goodness. So we have Arkansas in the house, Philadelphia. So wherever you're at, please let us know because we love to hear from the different states and cities. And you know what? I didn't know that Hmong people was in Philadelphia. So thank you, Pong, for tuning in. All right, so we're gonna go into Chance's bio. And for those of you who don't know the structure, I usually ask all my guests to give me a little bit of bio and background about them. So I'm gonna start off with Chance's childhood and ask Chance, Where were you born? And tell us a little bit about your family.
Sure. So I was born and raised in Colorado. I was born in a city right outside of Denver, a city called Thornton, and born and raised in Westminster, Thornton area, and that's kind of like my family. I'm the oldest sibling of four, so I have three younger siblings. And then my parents, they came over from Laos at a very young age. All their family
Mhm.
moved over to America when I think my mom was in elementary, must have been elementary school. My dad might have been middle school. They ended up meeting in college, I believe. So kind of in Colorado. So yeah, that's I don't know. I thought it was kind of crazy when they were telling me how they met and everything, and then they eventually had me. So here I am. But I guess a little bit more about my family and I. Just growing up, everything was just all about soccer. My mom and dad loved the game. My dad loved it especially. They never really played. My dad just always had a love and interest for it. So I guess he was just like, when I have kids, I'm gonna throw them into the sport and see what happens. And so like I felt like my life was just like eat, sleep, play soccer, and then repeat. And that's just how it was 24/7 for me and my siblings and like cousins as well. So it was really just all about soccer, 24/7. And but other than that, I mean, tons of family gatherings. Like we used to have a lot more Hmong people and family out here in Colorado, but um, everyone slowly moved away. But when I was growing up, I had tons and tons of cousins and aunts and uncles, and there's always something going on. I remember going to like the how like family gatherings or family eatings, and I'm dressed up in all my soccer gear. And then next thing you know, we're rushing to my soccer game or my brother's games or my sister, or on and on. And so yeah, I mean, soccer has like been huge, huge, just forever. And like, it's crazy that now I get to do it for my job and my career. So, it's
Yeah,
kind of hard to believe, yeah, that
that's so
I'm
cool.
continuing it now. Yeah.
So just curious, a side question is, how old were you, your youngest soccer, games and practices? What was the youngest age that you started soccer?
I started when I was 4 years old. So
Wow.
pretty young. Yeah. It felt like I pretty much started whenever I started walking anyway. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, it's been a part of my life for ever now. 20 years now, I guess you can say, since
I
I'm
was gonna
24.
say
Yeah.
that's 20 years in the making.
Yeah.
So you say your other siblings also, they're also in soccer as well?
Yeah, they all grew up playing. My second brother, he ended up playing 1 year of college with me. He stopped after that to just do school. And then, but everybody did end up playing. Everyone stopped now to do their own things and what they enjoy. So, but yeah, we all grew up playing and absolutely loved it. All played at pretty good levels too at the youth level.
Oh, nice. That's so cool. Um, so given that you pretty much grew up in soccer and everything, and I know we have a little side question, but you can disclose as much or as little as you want. But of course, the second question I have for you is that you briefly talked about some of the relationships in general of how they played a huge part in who you are today. So if you can give us perhaps, generally speaking, no names, some people's perhaps lessons that they taught you to grow to be who you are today, to face some of the current challenges that you're going through right now.
Yeah, I mean, uh, there's relationships that you kind of go through, and I think of it as like almost character development in a way. I mean, you learn a lot, I mean, good and bad, and it just teaches you a lot about life as well, not just a relationship with a significant other, but with everybody and everybody you come across in life itself. So, like any friendship, any relationship that you get in with anyone, it's just all the good and the bad. You take it in, soak it in, and it makes you who you are today. And I think without any of those experiences for me, it wouldn't make me, who I am right now, and how I talk, how I think, how I just go on about my life.
Hmm. Yeah, I think that's something so important, and that's one of the reasons why I'm asking the question because I noticed, and we'll talk a little bit more later on, in how you recruit your players, and you talk
Hmm.
about you mentioned character development, and I think that's such an important topic that I haven't really seen a lot of parents and young folks, or even just our Hmong community talk about. Um, I'm going to ask you a side question about that. So, um, for you as an individual, you said character development is very important. So, can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I mean, everyone goes through their own stuff in life. You know, everyone has their own story or their own specific things that they go through, and those experiences that's what makes you who you truly are. You know, like what you think in your head. And so I
Mhm.
guess if I'm steering it towards recruiting, because when I recruit my players, you know, I think about their background, where they've come from, if they've come from, you know, a tough childhood, if they've come from a loving family, or if they, you know, maybe they've come through, like, you know, they've battled through a lot of stuff as well. You know, it depends, but that's just like getting to know who they are, and then that's how you get to know kind of a little bit more about the character. Are they family oriented? Are they, you know, just good people? Are they going to be coachable? Are they going to be good teammates, good in the classroom? And um, that going into my life, I was able to go through, you know, a lot of stuff. Like I said, again, good, both bad, and with many different people. And you know, that if it wasn't for those experiences, you know, I would not think the way I do now. And yeah, I think I hope that answers your question.
Yes, it does. No, no, absolutely it does. And I'm taking notes too, if you don't mind. But,
Sure.
I'm usually taking notes. And what I think stuck out to me is that you're looking for somebody who is, well, one, you want to know who they are, their background. And hi, Nong. And Abby says, love the answers, Chance. I know, right? I just want to say that I'm just so impressed with Chance because I don't even think when I was 24, 23, 24 years old, I was as even mature or knew what character development was like. So that's why I'm really interested in Chance's answers and who he is right now. Because to me, I feel like Chance, you're shaping our future generation. So going back to your answers, they're looking for somebody who is family oriented, coachable, a person who could be a team member, somebody who is going to be good in class and as a team player, and that's so important. And it's not easy to find individuals that have those qualities, but it's wonderful that you're looking for those individuals because later on, I know you're going to talk about how you recruit and stuff, but I think that's just so important because I think, like I said, for the most part, we don't normally talk about character development or characteristics of a person that can be a great player and also a great person in general and in class. So,
Hmm.
but moving forward, so what inspired you to love soccer? And what are some valuable lessons that soccer has taught you?
Good questions. I think my love of soccer, I mean, it started mostly from my dad, honestly. That's the reason, excuse me, why I started playing. And it wasn't just because of him. I actually like loved it, and I mean, I'm absolutely am in love with it. And you know, I'm still, it's still a part of my life, and you know, I'm working to still be a part of the game. And it's so I think I would say definitely my dad, and then just how much my mom too. She's supported me, and just the support overall from the both of them, and not just them, but I have so many other family members, aunts, uncles, and older cousins where they played, and I kind of, you know, idolized them, watched them growing up, and I was like, you know, that's cool. I want to do that. I want to do cool things. I want to you know, be good. I want to improve. And it was just always fun. And that was the most important thing. It was fun. And that's what made me love it. And, you know, thanks to, you know, my family, my parents, and just everyone I looked up to. Valuable lessons, right? That was a,
Yes.
um,
So if you don't
adversity.
mind, I'm gonna
Oh,
answer. I'm gonna
sure.
answer my phone real quick because I apologize, but I am on call. So I'm gonna answer their question. I mean their phone. So Chance, if you can tell them about what some valuable lessons that you learned, I'll be right back. Okay.
Sure. Sure thing. All right, guys. Oh yeah, she was giving me a heads up before this that she's on call. She's working at like a hospital as well. So she has clients that are kind of going through stuff. So she gave me a warning, and I would just continue this until she came back. But to answer the question about the valuable lessons, the game of soccer has taught me. One of the biggest things I would say that came to mind was adversity, and it's how do you handle the adversity? Because there's always anything you do. In every aspect of your life, there's always going to be adversity that hits, and nothing's going to be perfect. It's not going to be smooth sailing, easy going, and that's probably the biggest thing I would say I learned, was how to deal with a lot of things that were not ideal. So I think that's for sure a huge valuable lesson I learned, and that's what I'm able to apply into what I do now, because no one goes through life at ease, no matter what phase they are in life. And even for me right now, I go through quite a bit of adversity with my job, but that's normal. That's what life is, and um, kind of taking it to my job now. That's what I look for in recruits as well. It's like how well can they handle adversity? Players on my team, is when things don't go our way, are they gonna like sit and pout, or if I'm not giving someone as much play time as they would like, how are they gonna react about that? Are they gonna complain? Are they gonna, just go to one another and talk behind people's back? That's a huge thing I look for, and just like everything you do, like it could be with family too. There's always gonna be adversity at some point. But yeah, and then another valuable lesson I learned is just hard work. Like you're not gonna get things easy. And nothing's gonna be ever be handed to you, and you have to work towards everything. You see people doing cool things, or you see professional athletes, you know, making it big, or you see a friend that's doing something cool, but like it doesn't happen for no reason. Like it's not magic or anything. It's hard work, it's dedication, it's a big mental thing as well. And the game has taught me how to be mentally strong. And I feel like soccer is it's life itself. If you're really invested into it, and it's like another um, thing that helped build me to who I am today. So I hope that answers that question. As Rachel is away, I mean, she did tell me that you guys can ask questions here too in the comments, and then I will answer them throughout the interview too. I mean, you guys can all ask me anything you want, and we could do that for right now, and I'll also answer them throughout the duration of this video or interview. Yeah, and I see some family out here. Am I single? Uh, yes, I am. What what's your future goals you wish to meet by next year? Good question. You've asked me this before, but I guess now I get to tell everybody. Um, my goal I wish to meet by the next year. So I'm thinking I just started in my position just in August, so a few months ago, and so I guess for my career, my job, by next year, I want my team. I guess we'll just talk specifically my team right now. I'm currently recruiting for my next recruiting class, class of 22, and I'm trying to bring in a solid group of guys to where they can help elevate us to get us over the hump, winning our region championship. We've come close every single year, and this year we've had a really historic year as well, ranked as high as 18th in the country. We only lost 3 games this year, and we got upset in our region quarterfinal match. So I know that I'm really wanting to win the region and get our bid into the national tournament. We were 2 games away from doing so, and I think that's one of the goals that I wish to meet within, I guess, my team and my program that I'm running right now. But next is, do you think having a support system helped your drive? Yes, definitely. I think we may get into this a little bit more later into the interview, but the support system is huge into why I'm able to do what I do right now. and if it wasn't for my parents and how much they sacrificed for me, then um, like I wouldn't see the things I saw. I wouldn't experience the things I did, and all that's, it's been so amazing. I'm so blessed and lucky, and I didn't really truly realize that until my later years in college. So I know we're gonna get into that a little later. Good question, Pong. So I won't get into too much detail right now. And then I'll answer this last one real quick. What's your
Yeah, yeah.
short term and long term goal? Um, I mean, I guess for me personally, my long term goal, I want to move up and be a head coach, NCAA Division One, NCAA Division Two, and I think that's the biggest thing for me. That would be an absolute dream. It was already an absolute dream when I got this position because I'm like, wow, like I can't believe this is happening so fast. And when I heard that I got the position, I was in Wausau for the Wausau Festival. It was a Friday night, and then I got the call. Then I was like, "Wow, this is such a surprise!" And like, "Hey, you got to start in 2 days. Your players are moving in." And but yeah, that's been fun. But long term, I want to continue moving up the ladder and make my way. NCAA Division One, D2 would be very ideal. Short term, man, it's just building those connections, continue to build it. I've been having a good recruiting base where I'm able to recruit players overseas. I have players currently on my roster and that I am currently recruiting from like England, France, Germany, Switzerland. I've been recruiting players from like Japan, New Zealand, Australia, Brazil, and all over America. So short term, I guess, is to continue building the relationships that I already have built, but expanding it even more. So I just, it's awesome to know more people, and it's like friends in a way. But yeah, all right, we can continue with whatever you have
Yeah.
next, Rachel.
Thank you so much, Chance. And I do apologize to the viewers, but I did give Chance a heads up. So just to let you guys know, I am a clinical director for an agency. And yes, I oversee 4 facilities and 4 housing apartments. So I serve those with mental health. And tonight I do have a client that needs extra care. So I have to answer my phones. But thank you guys for chatting with Chance. And I see all the questions. So, and this is kind of the fun thing about going live is that you guys are able to ask questions and we get to interact and stuff. So thank you. So moving right along to question number 5. And I think we left off at the valuable lessons. So the next question is, other than soccer, what do you do for fun? Did you talk about that yet?
No, not yet. Yeah, it's like my hobbies. It's I would say, I mean, I love socializing. I love to talk, and especially with like a group of friends that I have, and then expanding that as well. So I think that's always fun to do. And even with family that I'm not haven't been close with, or there's a big age gap, so we've never really known each other. I love to go out and continue building onto that relationship. And I think that's one thing is just spending valuable time with friends and family, and you know, hanging out. And other than soccer, what else? I love to travel. Traveling is huge for me. I love to sightsee. I love to see beautiful sights. I mean, perk of being in Colorado, right? But
Mhm.
I like to try to go elsewhere and do that with friends and family, and just continue to see cool things. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm adventurous. I like to hike. Being in Colorado is perfect for that. I've trying new things all the time. Like I went um, cliff diving for the first time, river rafting for the first time with some of my family this summer, and then just like traveling to like other states and hang out with people that I'm not necessarily like that with, but
Mhm.
eventually now we're like that, and it wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for the travel. I do like poker. I play
Yeah.
poker for fun. I'll admit that. So I'll gamble a little bit here and there, nothing crazy. And
Poker's it. Like poker and Texas Hold'em is um,
yeah,
kind of like the trend right now for a lot of folks. And I like playing, poker and Texas Hold'em, but I like it with my friends. Like I like it, like
okay.
putting in money together and then seeing who takes home the pot. So I think that's a lot of fun. But it's
Yeah,
a
that's
great,
always
I
fun
think, socializing
for
type of
sure.
thing. All right. Well, let's see here. Jason asks, this is a good question. Since you like sports and socializing, do you enjoy sporting events?
What's up, Jason? That's funny he asked. Him and I, we just went out to the Denver Nuggets. It's an NBA team out of Colorado, and we went to two of their games in the last month or so. But yes, I love sporting events. I support sports all the time. I grew up, just being around sports. That was my major in college with sports management, and I don't know what I would do without sports. To be honest, it's always been a fun and a blast. Like not just soccer, but you supporting other sports. Like I'll go out to Hmong tournaments and admire the volleyball players, football, Hmong dance, and I consider that a sport too. And everything's it's just cool to watch and support. People go and perfect their craft.
Mhm.
Good question, Jason.
Yeah. All right. So, moving right along to question number 5 here is, definitely I'm interested in who your main mentors and role models were, and how did they impact your decisions to becoming a professional soccer coach? Because that's not something every day that a young, to me, Hmong man says, "Oh, I want to grow up to be a soccer coach." Most of the time, right? It's typical. We want to be like a lawyer, a doctor, a teacher, a police officer, or.
Yeah.
So, who influenced you and who motivated you to get there?
Well, I think what you're saying, I think that's a lot of parents that want that for their kids. For me, I wasn't sure. I had no idea what I wanted, but I guess mentors and role models. I have so many, to be honest. The first easy ones that come up to mind are my parents, of course. They've just been there my whole life, and just how much they sacrificed for me. I remember in order for me to have the best opportunity possible at the youth level, was to go to play for a club team that was an hour away from my house. And
Hmm.
you have to think about the commute that you took, every single day, like 3 times a week for training, and
Gas
then you got
money.
to go.
Thinking like all the gas that
Yeah,
you spend traveling.
exactly. And then for games that we have to play on weekends, tournaments on every other weekend, and it's just like crazy. And then like my parents, they go to work their butts off, and then they rush to pick me up from school. We're straight an hour drive to go practice. They're sitting there in the car, watching me, or if not, they'll go out and watch me every single day, and they'll like take turns, both of them. And I was like, I'm amazed. I was like, I think about it now. I was like, I would not be where I am today without them for sure. And just their endless support, it's been great for me. And kind of my parents in a way, like my dad, I would say, kind of, especially when I was in high school, is like, hey, you're gonna be a lawyer, you're gonna be, an accountant or whatever, And I was like, I don't know. And then I finally, decided this now. But I don't know. I would say another big one is kind of made it like how I live life now is
Mhm.
my god brother, Mang. He passed away
Oh, I'm
not too
sorry.
long ago,
Mm,
but I just got recently got close to him before that had happened, and he's kind of made me think the way I do about life, and it's to like live life like it's a movie,
mhm.
and to live for moments that you cannot put into words, and that's what I try to continue to go on by. And I've just been having a blast, having so much fun, and trying to live up to those, I guess you could say, quotes.
Mhm. I like that, that you had, or have a mentor or a role model, a god brother that told you to live life like a movie. I have not heard of that one, and
Hmm.
definitely, that's a fun one because sometimes the movie life is kind of out there, right? It's not a typical life, but when you live your
Yeah.
life as a movie, it's like you said, it's being adventurous, spontaneous, it's going out there to look and enjoy new things. And you said make memories that you can't put words into it. Is that what you said?
Yeah, making memories that you can't put into words.
Okay. I'm gonna have to borrow that one. So
Okay.
but I have not heard that one. I think that's very like Pong said, it's very well said, and making memories that you can't put words into it. So it's something that you could definitely take on, or take with you in your life, where it's the feeling, the emotion behind those wonderful memories.
Right.
So I'm going to write that down. Words to it. Okay. And then thank you for answering that. And then um, the next question, it is somewhat like the previous question about your role models. But you said, oh yeah, so we did cover that. So Vang, homo. Okay, sorry about that. And then, so what led you to be selected as the new head coach at Northeastern men's soccer program this year in 2021 in August?
Um,
How do they recruit you? Like, what did
uh,
they see? What? How do they do that? Because, I typically see like the regular, you interview for a job, you go through like a couple screenings, and then get hired. But I mean, how do you get selected to be like the head coach of a men's soccer program at a college?
yeah, no, good question. For me, I honestly, I just think I'm lucky. That's what I like to think of it as, and it's just everything kind of the stars kind of aligned for one into one another, and I was lucky enough to be where I am now. I think it was just kind of my past experience too, while being the GM, assistant GM, and then GM for the Colorado Rush USL too. That was a huge thing that helped my experience, and then also like good for the resume. So altogether, I think that was a big boost, but. I think another big thing was I'm an alumni here, so I spent my first 2 years of college here, um, and my class was the one that turned around the program and made it. Finally they became ranked nationally eventually. So I think that was one big thing that helps. But another thing was the former head coach before me. He was the assistant while I was playing here, and he's the
Oh,
one that recommended me for this position. And then he was asking me to apply, and at the time I was like, I don't know, like I didn't think I was gonna get it. I didn't think that was realistic, to be honest, because I'm like, I'm only 23. They're not gonna
mhm.
take me. I'm only a couple years older than some of my players. I don't have nearly as much experience as all these other applicants, and what else? And I don't have a master's degree. Usually that's helps you a lot. I have my bachelor's, and I was planning to still go get my master's, and I never had it. And I'm like, I'm not gonna get it. And then he just kept pushing me to do it. I'm like, why not? I'll just apply, see what happens. I
Mhm.
did. So I did go through an interview process. They reviewed the resume, the um, application, and everything, and then I ended up getting an interview. They narrowed it down, got an interview, and at the interview, I just I think what helped a lot was at the interview I was really calm because I'm like, "Oh, I'm not even gonna get this. It's fine. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
relax." But because of how relaxed I was, I felt like I was able to talk really well, and I was just calm and composed. And apparently, their feedback to me was they really enjoyed my interview, and how I answered questions, how I just carried it on. And so just
Mhm.
from there on, and they waited a couple more weeks. That's when I was in Wausau,
Yeah.
the Friday night, getting ready for the Wausau Festival to go play. And then they called me, and then I was like, wait, what? And then it was crazy. I broke down crying a little bit because I'm like,
Oh,
I never thought I would get it. And to get that job where I formerly played at, so bittersweet.
yeah.
Everything coming full circle.
Yeah, that's so cool. It's that's such a great story to know that like you went in just thinking, you know what, I'm just gonna be calm, even if I don't get it. I probably won't get it because when I think when you do that when you're interviewing, which is what I can relate to that because I did exactly that with this job that I have right now. Is I went in just thinking, it's okay. There's going to be so many more, qualified people, you know, and I'm sure they're never going to select me. And then, but I think that's what draws people to, I think, to you too, is that when you're calm and you're collected and you can carry a conversation with them, then they see themselves being able to work with you. So I definitely can see that. So congratulations. I think that's a great accomplishment. And how fun is that to get a phone call right before you're gonna go play, right?
I know, right? That was crazy. And yeah, I don't know. I'm surprised. I was lucky enough. My one of my friends, he captured the moment I was like this on the phone, and then
Oh,
he snapped a photo, and
yeah.
then the photo sent to my mom, and she kind of like tried sharing it, and I was like, what the heck, you know? So I just love that the moment was captured. It's like, well, I'll never forget this.
Yeah, send me the picture then. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let me see. So, before we move on to the next question, because we have a couple more, but Balda, right? Asked, do you experience discrimination for being a young Asian male in your profession? Great question. You're welcome to answer that or not. But again,
Yeah,
just want to let everybody know we thank you all for all your wonderful questions. We may or may not be able to talk or, right, um, disclose a lot of things because, again, we do represent. A college and professional background. So, but you're welcome, Chance, to answer that.
yeah, of course. That's a really good question.
Yeah.
I think being young, definitely, I do. Because for example, like I'll go out to recruit, and like high school kids are at the club level, and I'll show up, or yeah, I'll show up, I'll watch, I'll be impressed by so and so, and then I'll approach them after the game, or their families are with them, and I approach them, and then I think they just kind of look at me, and they're like, who's this kid, and then I'm like, oh, I'm a college coach, I'm interested in you or so and so, and I'd like to talk to you, and then they're just like kind of hesitant about it because I look so young still, and I think my age, and how young I still look is kind of, I guess you can kind of say that, but I mean, I don't blame them. Like they don't know better. In terms of just being Asian, I mean, I don't think so. Because there's been a lot of Asian players that we play against, like from Japan, like from other Asian countries. I haven't really seen Korea, China, or anything, but and they love recruiting those type of players. So I mean, I don't think I haven't experienced any of the discrimination in terms of my ethnicity.
Hmm. But definitely, I could see the being young, being,
Mm,
23, 24 years old. And like you said, you're just a couple years older or maybe just a year the same age as some of your players.
mhm.
And then parents looking at you like, who are you?
Yeah,
But I definitely can see that. And then Bao had another question. Do you think Hmong people are good at soccer compared to other ethnicities? Good question. What do you think?
yeah.
That's a great question.
I love that. I have this talk all the time with the Hmong soccer community, and I think it's definitely on the come up. It's always been good before, but nobody really had the resources or support as people do now, or kids do nowadays. And I'm starting to see a lot of young Hmong talent, doing great, and with tons of potential. And the more I play, and the more I travel to other tournaments and see them play, I'm impressed, and I think some are getting really up there. One of some of my good friends. I mean, we first two Hmong professional soccer players finally in
Mhm.
America, and so it's really coming along, and um, yeah, I think we are. I honestly do think we are good compared to other ethnicities, and we're only getting better. It's coming up, but the more support these kids have, and the more motivation they put in themselves, the sky's the limit.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I do definitely see growing up. I was also, I don't know if I mentioned this, Chance, but growing up, my dad was an avid soccer player. And we went to, for those of you who are from Sacramento, California, William Land Park is like known for all the soccer families that go and play soccer. And I remember we went every single week, I think it was like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, even Sunday sometimes, and we played all the time. And girls, boys, my dad and his friends. And I remember doing that for years. And like you said, they're really good at playing soccer. So definitely they need a lot of pushing or support to pursue their career. But Vance, Leo, great to see you doing something you enjoy, brother. Keep reaching for them stars. Yes, definitely. Thank you for that. Um, so I have a couple more questions left, but if you don't mind, Chance, we can answer some of these questions. Shang, thank you for your question. See, do you have plans of advocating for more AAPI, so Asian Pacific Islanders, representation in soccer at a collegiate level?
Wow, great question. Wow. Um, I mean, yeah, I mean that would be great. That would be very ideal because you know what we've all been kind of going through or kind of afraid of as well, and it's been a big fear. Me being, I'm in a small town that's kind of in the country, and you know I've had thoughts of that all the time. There's from all over the world. Like I mentioned, like a few different countries that we're from, and you know we're all different from everybody, and that's something I've thought about on a little bit bigger scale, I guess you can say. But that this specifically, I mean, yeah, that would be great, but I mean, I'm not sure how specifically I could. Um, but you know, it's something that you know I really take pride in, and I want I want the Asian community to you know feel okay, feel protected, and you know just be able to move on in life however I can. You know, whoever has ideas, let me know. But you know, I'm open to hear. I don't really know myself.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. Yeah, that's a great question. Thank you, Shang. So another question I have here is, so prior to being Northeastern men's soccer coach, what were some previous coaching jobs that led you to this current job? I think you did mention being general manager, but there were other positions that you also had taken up, and so um, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So right before I am in the position I'm in now, I was the assistant coach for the women's soccer team here at Northeastern as well. I was only there for like 4 or 5 months before I moved over here, but I was with them for one season, and you know it was a good season, and I think it really helped. It was a historic season. It was the first time in program history, for women's program history, where we reached the region semifinal. So that was the final four of our region, and we ended up going down to getting knocked out by a team that was ranked. I don't remember. I think at the time it was like fourth or fifth in the country.
Yeah.
So it was a really great year, and I was blessed to you know be a part of that as an assistant coach. But yeah, I think that that's a big coaching experience I had prior to moving up over here.
Yeah, I think it's great to be a coach to play with teams that are ranked high because then
Hmm.
you really learn, I think, strategies, right? Um,
Yeah.
game plays and stuff, something that I know nothing about, but I can only imagine how you would strategize with your team and how you would, create plays and stuff like that. But that would be, that, I think if you play with the best, I think you become better. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, definitely.
Thank you. So, um, last question, but again, if you guys have, for the viewers, if you have any questions, feel free to ask us questions, and we do have a few more minutes. But overall, what have you learned from your experiences as professional soccer coach? I'm sorry, we do have two questions left. So overall, what have you learned from your experiences as a professional soccer coach? What are some overall lessons?
Oh, yeah. I've learned quite a bit. It's been a huge roller coaster because I've kind of got thrown into the fire. It felt, but it's been nothing but great, and it's so worth it because of my players. And I kind of got into this because you know I'm like you know I love soccer. I want to you know I wouldn't mind doing this you know as a job full time in my career. That's initially what it was at first, but the things that I learned I felt like they're so much more important is the impact I'm able to make and interactions and the influence I'm able to make on these young men and
Yeah.
women. And that that's the biggest reward for me is that I get to see them every day, train with them, I eat with them, do everything literally, and just bond with them. And I think that's very inspiring to me because I've been, you know, touched and inspired by my previous coaches, but I didn't really understand it until I became a coach.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, I want to be able to give that to these people, to these players, these future recruits, and be able to give them the best experience possible. And I think that's what makes it so worth it. And that's one of the biggest things that I've learned is, you know, I'm
Mhm.
not doing this just for me. I'm doing it for them. and
Mhm.
that makes it even more motivating to make everything that much more better. But yeah, I think on the flip side of things, though, a lot of things that I did learn too is the administrative work and all the
Right.
office work, paperwork. That's kind of hit me pretty hard, but you got to learn, and that comes a part of having a big boy job, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot, all that stuff is very important too, and I've been learning a lot on how to handle that.
For sure. Thank you. And I think that's wonderful that you're able to make an impact on the young men and women's lives of being players. And so, but I'm going to ask you to take the show again just for a few minutes because I do have to
Okay,
answer another call.
sure, sure.
And I apologize again, but again, this is what happens like when you are like, right? But the last question that I would like you to talk about and to expand on is what are three inspirational models, you know, or words of encouragement that you would advise someone who's wanting to pursue a similar career in professional soccer coaching or in soccer? So, like, what are some inspirational mottos or um, words of encouragement that got you through where you are today? So, if you can share that with them, and I'm going to go take this call real quick.
Okay, sounds good. Oh, this is another really good question. Three. I mean, I mentioned a few earlier. It was like, well, I guess that's more for life, but I think one is living for moments you can't put into words. I think that's a huge one because it's just like you know, it's a glorious feeling, when you're an athlete or you're trying to go the coaching route, and when you do well, and you put in all that work to feel the glory, to um feel championships, wins, individual accomplishments, you name it. And so it's remember that's like kind of a motivating factor in a sense. And you don't get there easily. And so yeah, living for moments you can't put into words, and how to get there. And yeah, I think that's definitely one. I guess another thing to think about is like adversity. There's always going to be things coming along, and it's how do you deal with it. I mean, I feel like I kind of, in a way, answered this question, throughout this interview. But yeah, just to, or not trying to repeat myself, but yeah, adversity is definitely going to be a huge one there as well. And what else? A third one, just being really resilient. You're gonna get knocked down all the time. You're gonna get told no. You're gonna ever since you're young, you may be trying to try out for a certain team and you don't make it, and then you got to keep going and going and going. And maybe for a job as well, you apply, you go through the process, you don't get it. And um, just keeping resilient, keep learning from those experiences, keep growing, and being the best person possible, for what you got to do. But I think there was one question here that we might have missed. Let me go back. Oh, it was by Pong. It was, do you think having a support system helped your drive? No, he asked one more after that, or it might have been that. There it is. What advice would you give to those striving without much support? That's a really good question because I know, and I've personally seen people that have kind of gone through this. So my advice would be, if you love something, if you enjoy doing something, continue to do it, and there will be people that will be out there to help support you, friends, other family members. Um, and it would, I would hate to see, someone stop pursuing something or their dreams or something they love or just enjoy a hobby even, because they weren't getting that support that is needed. Support's going to be huge, and that's what I've seen, um, with more and more people, or more and more parents, very very helpful, very supportive in what their kids want to do and to what their relatives want to do. And I think what I would my biggest advice for that is just keep going. If you love it, why stop? I mean, no one should stop you from doing anything you love or being a part of something that you enjoy or having a fun time with. So good question there. Sorry we missed that.
All right, I'm back. Again, I apologize. Yeah, I did have an emergency call. So I had a client that needed some extra care. But oh, Steve's here. Hi, Steve.
Oh, I just saw that. Hello, hello.
Yeah. So Chance, you did say that you and Steve are good friends, or you guys know each other.
Yeah, we do know each other. We started this. I guess it's the Hmong Group where how would I say? But all us coaches, I mean, we're similar boats with one another,
Yeah.
college coaches in different various sports.
Yeah.
And we're here to support one another, and what better way to have a support group is your own people, and it doesn't only help us, it helps the next generation, it helps inspire other people, and that's kind of like what we got going on. Steve's the one that started it, invited me into the group, and it's been great. We've been there able to support and relate to one another, and I think that's so important, especially being Hmong. Like now I know I'm not the only one going through the same thing. There's a group of other people, and yeah, that's how I know Steve.
Yes. Yeah, and Steve's a wonderful guy, and I interviewed him, I believe last year. So, but I'm really glad that you are part of his support system and network, because absolutely, I do believe that is having a group of individuals that are going through similar challenges or similar accomplishments, in the same field. I think that really helps us move and grow.
Yeah,
So, yeah. So, let me see. So you've been answering the questions. Did you answer the has the pandemic changed the game?
I did not. That just came up,
Oh,
but good
okay.
question. Well,
Yeah.
I want to say hi to everybody. I didn't really get to say hi to you guys. These are a lot of people that my friends and family too. So great
Cool.
questions,
I don't
guys.
even know. I'm just like, who are these people? And you're playing it so cool. Like, oh yeah, hi. You answer their questions, and here I am going, wow, that's so cool. They're watching.
Yeah, I know it's my first time seeing this, so I was like, oh, kind of amazed, and then I'm like, wait, I know this person, I know this person. Oh, I didn't say hi, so hi, guys. But has the pandemic changed the game? Yeah, oh, definitely it has.
Yeah.
It was really hard. I mean, obviously we're kind of coming towards the end, or I don't know if it's necessarily ended. I don't know, but I mean, it was tough. It was very, very hard and difficult for every aspect of everything we do. And the fact that I recruit heavily international, half my team are international players.
Wow.
That's what made it hard. And I mean, things restrictions have become easier. So I think that's helped, and things have been slowly going down a little. So but it was hard. Not necessarily recently, when I had this position, but obviously before this, and so many complications, in like everything we do, to be honest. So, yeah, it definitely did change it a little bit.
Yeah, I bet. I was thinking maybe it's kind of similar to being a social worker and working in the helping field and working with people in general. You have to make sure that you're constantly either tested for COVID or that you're vaccinated. And you can't force people to get
Hmm.
vaccinated, and you have to respect, their choices. And I know that with a few of our staff, we just had to encourage or require actually for them to take their COVID test weekly, right? To constantly get
Hmm.
checked. So I can only imagine playing a sport and getting constantly checked all the time and, making sure all those paperwork is done. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, thank you. Um, oh, wow. Sounds like a friend. So, okay. Okay. Is that a friend?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You-
I was gonna say, I bet people are gonna try to make you blush and be embarrassed. Thanks. I'm not gonna read that out.
it's okay. You can ignore it.
Let's see. So Steve says, or is asking, does your upbringing have more of an impact on your coaching or your playing experience? What are your non-negotiables in your program? Great question. See, that's how you know you're from a coach background, right?
Oh, that's definitely a good coach question right there. Great question, Steve. Does your upbringing have more of an impact on your coaching or your playing experience? Yeah, I would definitely say it does. I mean, we briefly touched upon this earlier. But it's like if it wasn't for like my parents and my other family members and how how everything was, like it would not be possible. I mean, there's so many names you asked me, like role models, and I could have named so many more people. And I did have a list too written out, but it's like I would have been naming that would have been like a good 2 3 minutes of this live, and I don't want to go through that. But it's just like role models that I've seen. And a lot of them are family members, cousins, aunts, uncles. And it's just how much everyone supported me, and just the love that I've always received. That's helped. I guess
Yeah.
that's what made me like right who I am now, and like the impact on how I coach and my soccer playing experience is it's all that, and it's the support. I mean, they're always watching me. They're always keeping up with me. You know, I
Mhm.
have people that will stream our games, and they're people, family and friends from California, Minnesota, Wisconsin, you know, Arkansas,
Mhm.
everywhere. And so I've always continuously had that, and so it's been great. What are your negotiables in your program? So I make it a thing where it's very little, but
Mhm.
anytime my guys, my players see each other, so like let's just say for example, before every training session, everybody has to shake hands. I said
Ah,
that since day one. Since day one, it's normal now for them to do, and they don't just do it at the field; they do it everywhere they see each other,
mm.
on campus, outside of campus, everything. Um, so they always shake hands before practice, and then we go on after training. And we're finished. We break it down. We're like, oh, 1, 2, 3, family. And then, but after that, everyone's shaking hands, and no one misses each other. And I think that's one simple non-negotiable that I have within the program. And I mean, it's been great. It's such a family culture. But yeah.
That's so cool. I really like the fact that you have everybody shake hands, whether they're, at a social event or at a game, that they're
Mhm.
constantly acknowledging each other. That's so important. And your chant is what, 1, 2, 3, family?
Yeah. Oh, it's not 1, 2, 3. We say it in French. We say 1, 2, 3 in French. Because
How do
we've
you
had
say it?
a
How
few.
do you say it?
I'm not good. It's un, deux, trois.
Oh, really? That's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah. See, Lily says all love or hear it. Yes. So if you okay, so you guys all like, how would you guys do it? Put your hands together in the middle. I
Yeah.
want to know.
Yeah. That's what we do. I'll send you a video, I guess, next time
Yes,
we
I
do it.
want a video. I do want a video.
Yeah.
All right. Let me see. So I have a few more questions here before we go. Bay asked, I'm a parent of active teens. What's a good advice you've got from your parents that is giving you the encouragement you to reach your goals? How do you balance your time with family and friends? Oh, that's a great question.
No, I love that. That's very relatable as well. And I mean, I don't know specifically the whole dynamic between your guys' relationship, or relationships with one another, but you know, just letting them know you support them, and you're like easygoing, and just showing them that you have that. You know, I think that's the biggest thing, and whatever they love and whatever they want to accomplish, you know, being there, and that's the biggest thing. Like my dad, he would still drive like hours just to come watch me coach. Still, he did that as a player. Now he's still doing it as a coach, and I think having that constant support, I mean, it's huge. And I remember, you know, it's like I remember moments where my parents like remember like driving me an hour to practice every single day, and then right after work picking me up from school and doing so. And then I remember like them coming out, like we'll have games or we'll be practicing, you know, but most parents they would just drop their kids off at the
Mhm,
field because they live close and go
mhm,
back home. My parents
mhm,
have to sit there in the car,
mhm,
keep the car running, or they'll sacrifice the gas and they're like, oh, cold in the car trying to watch. And so it's just the constant support. I think that's the big thing I would say as a parent.
mhm,
That's something I feel so blessed about. And, you know, I mean, I'm so thankful and blessed for them. I would not be who I am and be
mhm.
in this position I am that I am in currently, and that's how I feel like I was able to, you know, just reach my goals. So, I mean, it's easier said than done. I mean, everybody can just say be supportive, but you know,
Mhm.
I think that's very, very important.
Yes. And then thank you for answering that. And then how do you balance your time with your family and friends?
That's a great question too, because I mean, I'm still people tell me like, man, you're still relatively young. Like, don't you want to like go have fun? Do you have free time? And while I'm in season, to be honest, it's all about my team, our season, and the season. It only goes 3-4 months only. Um, while we're in season, I'm still with the team year round, or other than the summer and winter breaks and stuff, and other holiday breaks. But like we're together all the time. But when it's really like down to the wire, and it's like it's no one sees me anymore, is because or I it's between, I would say, the months of August, early August to right before Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
or early November,
When I didn't hear from
or
you
end of
either.
October. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
like Rachel was trying to reach out to me so much, and I couldn't because it is so crazy. So let me
It was.
see it. I have to go back up to the question. What was it? I don't see it on the screen. Oh,
Which,
it's right there. Yeah. So I just, how do I balance it? I mean, so while I'm in season, I mean, for the most part, everybody understands, and I do my best to text everybody back, and so I tell, it's a joke that I have with a lot of people. It's like
mhm,
because I'm in constant conversations with agencies overseas, with recruits overseas in America, and there's different time zones that I have to keep up with as well because
mhm,
we're halfway across the world, and other coaches that I know within America. So I'm constantly just on my phone all the time because like I have ongoing conversations with 25, 30 people all I want. So I joke with family and friends. I'm like, hey,
mhm.
if I message you guys back, I'm like, that's really love right there. But I mean, the season's over now. Immediately right when it ended, I go back home on weekends when I can, just spend that with my family and with my friends, and I try to travel as much as I can. I went to college in Wisconsin. Some of my best friends are there. I try to keep up. Obviously, it's so much easier now through social media, technology, and FaceTime and all that good
Mhm.
stuff. So, and then visit them when I can because while I'm not in the season, I get a lot of time off and PTO and all that good stuff. So I just have to grind it out for 3-4 months to be honest, and then from there on, I'm able to really try to balance it out.
Mhm. Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, just a side note, and just for the future too, is that your two really good best friends are the professional soccer players. So, uh, yeah, so
Yeah.
I don't wanna just, like, spoil it, but we are gonna be talking to them. I'm gonna be interviewing them,
Hmm.
soon. But, yeah, so I think you guys were saying something about, how your traditional hours of work is not 8 to 5 or 9 to 6 or 10 to
Hmm.
7. It is around the clock, and it is through the weekend, and it's at night, and you travel, and so, I think that's one, I don't wanna say downfall, but that is a challenge sometimes, right? I think, that it's not going to be a regular Monday through Friday job. Obviously, you work accordingly to your schedule and your
Hmm.
games, and
Yeah.
when you have to travel. So
Yeah,
uh,
for sure.
definitely, that's something to consider. All right, so last question for the evening. You're asked, what is your coaching philosophy, or how would you further develop it?
I like this.
Good question.
I really like it because, oh, this is a great question. I love talking about soccer. I could talk about it all day.
Mhm.
Um, hopefully, other coaches I play don't see it because, um, for me, I mean, I haven't really heard it before, and it just popped up into my mind out of nowhere. But I, I call it kind of playing chess is how I kind of advise my team, and
Mm,
so there's like so many different styles of play in the game, and people, there's the possession oriented coaches, there's the all out pressing, or parking the bus. That's just where you're playing very defensive too.
mhm,
Just so many different ways to do things, so many different philosophies and
mhm,
examples that I can give. But for me, it's just playing chess. It's a high press, but then we're playing chess. And playing chess, what that means is, yes, first we want to keep the ball the best we can, but it's okay to go big. It's not a long pass. I mean, it's not a long ball. It's a long pass, and we kick it to a spot where we're able to exploit the other team. Maybe they recover it, but we win the second ball, and we win the ball, and they're attacking third. And then we continue to penetrate and go on from there. So that's a big thing. Is like playing chess. It's like why would we try to keep the ball in our defensive third and with our goalkeeper, our defenders, while other teams are putting us under pressure? Why don't we put them under pressure? And
mhm.
like on throw-ins too. I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, throw the ball whenever we have a throw-in. throw the ball to the last defender's head, and we have two guys going for the second ball, and when bam, we're already attacking quick and right off the bat. So that's how my philosophy is. And when we don't have the ball, she's like hunting to win the ball back at all times. And
Yeah.
but yeah, how do I further develop it? I mean, just getting players to buy in, and just continue. I mean, to just work on it. And it's not like um, a a brand that everybody is always bought into. Everyone's wanting the tiki taka, which is possession oriented, and because that's a pretty style of play. But it's me just continuously getting every recruiting class I bring in to buy in and see that it's working and see that it's good. That we have to bring the energy, the intensity, and buy into to the system. And honestly, it's worked out.
Cool. That's so cool. I have no idea what those coaching styles are, but I'm learning. I'm learning. All right. So, okay. So I want to say that was the last question, but I really like Angela's question. So if you want to answer this last question, we can. But I know it's been about an hour, and so I don't want to take up too much of Chance's time. And I know that we are busy and it's kind of late, but do you want to answer Angela's question?
That's a really good one. I don't
Yeah.
mind answering it.
Yeah. So Angela, thank you. When did you discover that coaching was your passion? After acknowledging it, did you hesitate to follow through?
I really like the question. That's
Mhm.
a good one. When did I discover that coaching was my passion? I did not know what I wanted to do even my junior year, senior year of college. I was just kind of going with the flow. Honestly, I was in college just
Yeah.
to get a degree and play soccer, and that's what it was at first.
Mhm.
I've always in my head have had a image of, hey, I want to be a college coach, and that's something that was always in the back of my mind, but I wasn't sure because I was always just told myself, hey, accountant or lawyer or whatever, and all
Yeah.
that stuff. And um, but then at the end of it, I'm like, when I was lucky enough to get the position I got as assistant GM for the Rush USL2 while I was still in school. I was offered while I was right before I graduated. And
Mhm.
then right from there, it kind of just took off. And so I was in the the executive role for a little bit. And I was like, I like coaching. I like making an impact on players. I like, seeing making an impact on these kids' lives,
Mhm.
and memories for them for the rest of their lives that they get to see and go through when they're done with school and when they become grown men and women. And I think that's when I really, really clicked, and that's when I got into the coaching with the women's and then now the men's. So after
Mhm.
acknowledging it, did you hesitate to follow through? The only reason why I did have a little hesitation
Mhm.
at first was because of how people were perceived. Oh, like you're doing this and you're doing that, and what's the pay? And is the pay this or is the pay that? And
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I'm not going to disclose the those details, but
Mhm.
like what I would like to say is like what I realized. I only had a little hesitation because I know how kind of the norm is with like typical Asian people and what the traditional thing is to do. But for me, like I said, like it's very rewarding for me. And I think if you do something you absolutely love and that you're absolutely passionate about and that you're doing it for a good reason and for me, it's making an impact and influence on so many people, and that I get a network and meet some people. I think my job is the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
Um, and like it doesn't even matter what I get paid. Like I would do this for like I feel like almost for free
Yeah.
because of how amazing it is. So yeah, I hope that answers that question.
Yeah, I think that's a great answer. And I totally believe in that is that there are things that we love. And if we were paid like close to nothing, we would still be doing it. And that's the beauty of, I think, following your dreams, your goals, and passion. And then that's, again, something that I really wanted everybody to see tonight with Chance, because I really reached out to Chance because I was like, you know what? It takes a lot of heart, it takes a lot of passion and determination to be a young coach at a young age. And then it also takes, like you said, a lot of character, because you're recruiting your players from, around the country, around the world. And so,
Mhm.
but I want to say thank you so much, Chance, for taking your time from your busy schedule, and thank you everybody for tuning in to Project Reinspire. And we hope that Chance and everybody that comes on here, inspires all of you to pursue your goals, your dreams, and passions. That's the ultimate goal. And again, I want to dedicate Project Reinspire and my interview with Chance to my son. My son is 16 years old, and he loves sports too. And so I want him to know that there are young Hmong men out there that are pursuing their dreams and goals. And oh, Steve, thank you, Rachel, for this platform. Thank you, Chance, for being a pioneer. Yes, thank you, Steve. And thank you, Steve, and for everybody for being a part of the platform. And we want to continue to, you know, show to I think the world, if not our community, that we have very successful, determined, wonderful parents and young adults, that are pursuing what they love. So again, thank you everybody for tuning in. And we will be interviewing um, Brian, right? Brian and Michael.
Yes, Mike and Brian Vang.
Yes. So just to put it out there that Mike, thank you, Chance, for introducing me to Mike and Brian. They are the two youngest, right? Young and only Hmong-American professional players.
Yeah, they're the two first Hmong Americans to be professional in America.
Yes. Yes. And um, Chance was, kind enough to introduce me to them. We did a Zoom meeting talk. And so in January, the new year, next month, I'll be talking to them. And I think that it'll be really interesting because we need to promote more athletes, more coaches, non-traditional jobs out there for our young Hmong Americans and Asian Americans and our community. So thank you guys. Have a great night. And yes, Pong, let's continue these talks, Rachel. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Please send me your feedback. Let me know what you want to hear and talk about, who you guys want to meet, who inspires you. So thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful night. And together, like I said, we can inspire for a better future for all of us. So have a good night. Be safe out there, guys. Bye.
Thanks for having me. Thank you so much. Thanks, everybody.
Bye. Thanks, Chance.